Hey guys, welcome to Essential Oils 101 for Creatives. So I thought, to be honest with you, at first I was going to do just the regular Essential Oils 101 just to get us all on the same page. You know, what are essential oils? What can they do for overall wellness? And then I thought, I don't need to redo the energy of that. I've done that video. If that's the video that you want, if that's the one that you're looking for, then if you look below in the description, I'm going to put the link to that one. So if you want the general all-encompassing Essential Oils 101, that's fantastic. I can do that. But I was really thinking, as this month we're focusing on your creativity, harnessing the power of your creative mind. For me, a giant part of that has been using the crystals and essential oils. And I want to kind of express to you guys the way that the essential oils works particularly well for creatives. Now, it works for everybody, but a few of the things that I feel like creatives have going against us, that's a bad term to use, but really that kind of makes life a little bit more of a struggle for us potentially, is just our sensitivity, right? So we're sensitive to the world around us, to information that comes at us, to experiences, even to our senses, right? Visual artists see in a different way. Musicians, hear in a different way. As a writer, I feel a poet, I take people's words very deeply, and it means a lot to me, and I intuit a lot, and I interpret a lot more, maybe than some other people just kind of going through life at an even keel. So we tend to be empaths. We tend to be intuitive. We tend to, have some of those extra sensory things going on that may not be true of everybody. And so therefore, if you have a more sensitive system, a more sensitive overall mind, body, spirit, then it's going to be easier to kind of pull you out of wellness, pull you off of balance. And the thing about essential oils is that they can help you to regain that balance, to stay in that spot that you want to stay in, to even grow beyond. And as we're a little bit more sensitive, we actually are also a little bit more aware of feeling the difference within our body, of feeling how we feel with the oils, and of knowing which ones are best for us at which point. So that's kind of the beauty of it. We can be more sensitive, which can make it a little bit harder, but also being sensitive means that you experience life more fully and you're aware of what's going on in your body, right? So I do want to start off with some groundwork, okay? We can't talk about essential oils unless you kind of know what they are, right? So what is an essential oil? Well, an essential oil, they call it the lifeblood of the plant, and the reason for that is that it's one of the most important elements inside the plant. It is different from olive oil. It's not that kind of an oil. It's the kind of oil where if you were to snap a blade of grass or a twig or something like that, the little bubble of liquid that comes up, that is an essential oil. That is trying to repair that plant. So it helps protect it from predators. It helps protect it from fungus. It helps it to grow. It does all of those really key functions in a plant. And because our DNA is 99% the same as plant DNA, in our physical bodies, the essential oil acts in a lot of those same ways to support our systems. So that's a really cool thing. Now, the other cool thing about essential oils is that they are teeny, 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 tiny. The molecular structure of the oil is so small that it can go right through your skin, that it can, when you breathe it in, it can go through the blood-brain barrier and go right into your brain and start affecting your brain. And when it goes into your skin, it goes into your bloodstream, and it gets all throughout your body within seconds to minutes, right? It's everywhere, and it's affecting all of your cells. They can support every single system: circulatory system, endocrine system, muscular system, your hormones, your brain function. They can help support digestive system. They can help support a healthy weight, healthy emotions, healthy spirituality, right? They are, if you think about frankincense oil, this goes way, way, way back to ancient times, to Egypt, to using that in even makeup. They would use to make their mascara. They would use essential oils. The three wise men bringing frankincense and myrrh, right, to the baby Jesus. So this goes so, so far back, which is amazing. But also the science is finally catching up in the modern times to the ways that essential oils can support our system. Now, keynote here, I can't talk about essential oils in terms that a doctor can talk about medication, because an essential oil is not a targeted medical tool, right? So if you take an aspirin, it's meant to do one thing in the body. If you take a particular medicine, it's meant to do one thing in the body. When you take in essential oils, they have many, 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 many properties within them. They have many different components to the makeup of the oil, and they do a lot of different things. They have so many attributes that they will make an effect in your body in multiple ways, but mostly in the way that you need it. So if you have a weakness in a particular area, they will come in and they will support that area. However, they're not there to cure a disease because it's not targeted, and the oils don't act within your body the exact same way they act in somebody else's body. This is good because it means that oils are not treated like medication, so you don't have to have a prescription in order to get them, right? That's great news. Okay, what's the downside to that? If you don't have to have a prescription to get them, if they're not overseen by the medical field, unfortunately, they're not overseen also by the FDA. So there's no FDA regulations on the purity of an essential oil. That means if you go to the store, like I did for years, I would go even to Whole Foods, right? Which I love, but I would go to Whole Foods and I would get an oil off the shelf and it would say peppermint oil or bergamot oil or frankincense. And I would take that home and I thought I was getting 100% pure essential oil. I thought when I took that in, that was the best that it could get. And I had like, meh results. It wasn't what I was told when I would read on the internet or ask somebody about oils. I wasn't getting those powerful results. The reason is because there is basically no rule about labeling pure essential oil except that it have at least 10% of an essential oil inside that bottle. The rest of it can be anything. All right? So I want to explain to you guys, and I'm going to grab my notes for this because there are actually 4 types of labels for an essential oil, grades A through D. And if I can find this on my notes, I'm going to tell you what they are, because it's important to understand this. Before we get into all the great things that they can do for you, how are you picking ones that actually do something, right? So grade A is therapeutic. So it's made from organically grown plants. That's key, right? And it's distilled at low temperatures. So they haven't degraded the oil, and it's organic. If you can imagine distilling the power of a plant into this bottle, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants in most cases, into this one bottle, you do not want all the pesticides that come with that. You want that to be organically grown, okay? Grade B, the second type, are food grade. So food grade, but may contain synthetics, pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, or carrier oils, okay? So if you're a grade B oil, and there's 2 below this, it's not the point when we're doing this for health and wellness for us to be taking in a whole bunch of pesticides and a whole bunch of weird other chemicals. Grade C, these are the perfume oils, okay? And they often contain adulterated chemicals. They usually use solvents, for example, hexane, to gain a higher yield of oil per harvest. Hexane is, you can't use it in Europe because it has been known to cause cancer, okay? And this is in almost all store-bought oils. They can also be diluted 80 to 95% with alcohol. So we're talking about getting tipsy from drinking a bottle of oil, right? Which you shouldn't do anyway, a whole bottle. But we're at grade C. There's one below this, and we're already talking about hexane, okay, which in many countries is banned. And we're talking about 90% of that bottle being something that you don't want, that has nothing to do with essential oils, okay? Grade D is floral water. So this is not even really oil in the typical sense. It's aromatic only, and what happens is when you make an essential oil, all the stuff that you don't use, kind of the trash water that's left over, that's called floral water. And, you know, it's got perfume qualities and stuff like that, but it's not actually an essential oil. It won't do anything therapeutic for you. That's stuff that Young Living just doesn't even use, right? And so if you go somewhere and it says has essential oil in it and it's really grade D essential oil, then like you didn't even get the qualities that you thought you were getting in the essential oil. So a couple of years ago, maybe it was a year ago, right when I started my like actual essential oil journey where I found Young Living and I tried their oils and I was like, oh, this is what everybody was talking about when they talked about how powerful these oils are. Like, this is why, because this is what 100% essential oil actually does. I was walking through Walmart one day and I end up in the, you know, I don't know, spa section or whatever, where they have Epsom salt and stuff like that. And there were all of these essential oils there. And I was like, wait. How does Walmart carry essential oils? This is how. Because they can put grade B, C, D in there and sell it to you for a tiny amount of money comparatively, but you're getting no benefits and you're, in many cases, harming yourself. So you want to make sure before you go out there and you buy an essential oil because Erin said so or because anybody else said so, you need to understand what you're getting. You need to understand that they're not going to label. They're not going to tell you, okay, that it's not 100% oil in there. Because you can say 100% pure essential oil and there only be 10% oil in the body. There can only be 10% oil in the bottle, okay? And it can say still 100% pure essential oil. So the beauty of Young Living, besides the fact that I tried them and they changed my life, the beauty of Young Living is that they have the seed to seal promise. So from the time it is in the ground to the time they bottle it and put that seal on it, okay, they have had control over that entire process. It's been farms that they own. They have, it's land that has never been used before. It's land that is all organic. They have scientists that go out there and they test and they pick the plant at the exact height of all of the wonderful things that you want in the essential oil for the most therapeutic benefit. Okay, and then they have an incredibly pure way of bottling, right? Low grade, low temperatures that they use for the entire process. Put it in the bottle, seal it up, and send it to you. Now, they also have an outside source come in and verify that it's 100% pure essential oil in that bottle, okay? Rather than just saying, okay, hey, we said it was. No, they actually have somebody come in and say, yes, this is verified 100% pure essential oil. So that is what we're talking about when I say essential oil. I am talking about 100% pure. I'm talking about organic. I'm talking about you know what's in the bottle. Everything that's in the bottle, if it says orange oil, it's all orange essential oil. This is where you're going to see the quality, okay? And like I said, I had used, tea tree oil from Trader Joe's, right? I had used, what would be another one? Eucalyptus from Whole Foods. And it was like, okay, I mean, it smells like eucalyptus, but you do not get the therapeutic benefit in the same way. And if you try that, because I said use essential oils, and you go out there and you try those, you're going to be like, Erin's kind of full of crap. This does not really have the life-changing benefits that she's saying. You have to try the ones I'm talking about, okay? That's the only way for you to be sure that you're actually getting the benefits. And there are a few companies that do a really good job, like a handful, like I can count them on one hand, okay? I speak about Young Living because I have tried them. I totally trust their process, and they have absolutely changed my life from a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual perspective. So I can talk to you about this and never feel bad once about having you buy them and try them. I know that it's going to help you, okay? So let's get into a little bit of the fun stuff about the individual oils and why I think they're so great for you as a creative soul. Okay, just kidding, guys. So before we jump into that, all the fun stuff about the individual oils, I do want to say a couple of things. Now, y'all have heard me talk about this before, but there are 3 ways to use essential oils, and you want to understand them. So there is the topical method, right, which would be putting the oil on your skin. There's the aromatic method, which would be breathing it in. And then there is the ingestion method, which would be actually dropping it on your tongue, putting it in water, putting it in a little pill, right? And those are different methods used by different countries. So if you're in England or Germany or France, which is what they're named after, you would feel like one was the only way to go and not the other 2, okay? So the ingestion is the French method, and that is the one that is particularly a hot button issue. And there are a lot of, even the NAHA, the American National ruling body, that makes suggestions about essential oils, even these guys say you shouldn't ingest oils. And the reason for that is because of this whole issue with the FDA verification, right? You have no idea what is in this oil that you're taking in unless it's one of these few companies that you can really trust that it is 100% pure essential oils, okay? And so they're not going to tell you go buy Whole Foods essential oils and ingest them, because you could be ingesting hexane, you could be ingesting fertilizer, right? So you need to be very, 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 very sure that you are using Young Living before you ingest that oil. Young Living is the only company that has an actual line of oils. It's called the Vitality line of oils that has been approved for internal use, okay? So if I recommend ingesting oils to you, do not do it unless it's a Young Living oil. That's part of the Vitality line, okay? That is the only way that you should ingest oils. Now, breathing in oils and using them topically are both widely accepted methods of aromatherapy. But when you put them on your skin, there is a couple of things that you want to know. So one is you may have sensitivities to different oils based on the way that they interact, how quickly they go into your skin. Spicy oils like cinnamon or peppermint or something like that may tingle or burn as they go into your skin, and you may get redness. And I actually did a video about that once when I put on, I think it was Abundance for the first time, and it has cinnamon in it. And I know I react to cinnamon, but I just wasn't paying attention, and I put it on anyway, and then I got red bumps on my arm, which then go away in like 30 minutes, and it's fine. But you don't really want skin irritation, so you take one of the carrier oils, which would be like olive oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, and you put like a dime size in your palm, okay, and then a drop or two of the essential oil, and then rub it on. Now, because those carrier oils have a lot larger molecule, it will take it longer to get into your body, because the essential oil has to work their way through that, carrier oil, through all of that to get into the body, because it can go into your bloodstream. So it slows down the rate at which it gets in there, but then it lasts longer because it took it longer to get in there, right? Makes sense? So that's one thing to know. The other thing is that some oils are photosensitive, meaning that they react to light. So the citrus oils, I think it's bergamot particularly, that react to sun, and therefore you can get a sunburn if you like rub bergamot oil all over your face and then go out at noon and do some gardening. I have not had this particular reaction, but I have seen things like someone going, putting lemon oil on their face and then going to the tanning salon and getting in a tanning bed, and they get burns on their face. Well, okay, don't do that. But I like to use it in my face oil that I use after I wash my face. But I mean, I put it on, an hour before I leave the house, and it's not an issue. But you do want to know that. Okay, so test a little spot on your skin and see if you react to anything. And then don't slather yourself in citrus oils and head right outside in the middle of the day, or else I'll have to say I told you so. So those are the two things about that. Aromatically is really not, there isn't a lot to know about that. There are a couple ways you can do it. You can put the drop in your hand and rub together, like I show y'all all the time in the videos. Breathe it in. That goes right into your head, right into your brain, the limbic system, which is the emotional center, and that's where we get a lot of the emotional benefits, is just aromatically by breathing it in. You also have something like this little guy, right? Little diffuser. Now you can see the steam going. And that will just shoot the steam into the room. This one, which is the teardrop diffuser, also acts as a humidifier. So it's moistening the air as well, which is great. But it's just going into the air around me. And if I have that on while I'm working, I don't have to have the oil in my hands, and I'm still getting the benefits of breathing it in. So those are the two main ways to do aromatically. All right. So now let's jump into the particular oils. I'm going to show you guys, if you get the Young Living, the starter kit, right, the premium starter kit, it'll come with a diffuser. I don't know if you can see the box for it, but there's another diffuser, the home diffuser, a few different diffusers that you could get. I just happened to get the Dewdrop. But it comes with that, and then it comes with this box, okay? And in the box are all of the main oils. And these are the ones I want to talk about, because these are the ones you're going to start with when you get the kit. And as I said, there are so many different properties that you could play this from a physical standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, and really have a whole conversation about each of the oils. But what I want to talk about is, for us creatives, how is it particularly going to help you, and how can you know when you're in a certain state what oil to go grab, right? Does that make sense? So the most fun thing, obviously, that you get these are, what is it, 10 oils? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So these 10 oils, and then there's actually a bonus oil under here, but I'm going to talk about these 10 first, and then some other goodies that you get, plus the diffuser, okay? So the first oil, I'm just going to go in order, and I'm just going to talk about them a little bit. Citrus oils, now lemon oil right here, okay. I already talked about how citrus oils are photosensitive, so you want to think about that when you're putting it on your skin. But What do we know about lemon? Limonene. If you Google that, you will find a lot of stuff about helpful digestion, okay? But all of the citrus oils are incredibly uplifting. So if you are wanting to start your day off right, lemon oil in your diffuser, lemon oil in your water, lemon oil in the palm of your hands, lemon oil in your face oil that you make for yourself, an uplifting oil to get you that bright feeling at the beginning of the day where you're like, yeah, I can totally do this, okay? So this is also an example of the Vitality label. These white labels mean that you can use it in water, put it in a pill and ingest it. You can also put it under your tongue, sublingual, which is actually still topical. But so I love to do this in water. I love to do it with lavender, lemon, and peppermint, which is a fantastic kind of a balm, seasonal balm, to put on your lymph nodes right along here, you know, when you get that crap that happens with seasonal changes. So that is some of the benefits, but really all citrus oils, I want you to think bright, uplift. If that's you, if that's a thing that you need, then any of the citrus oils is where you're going to want to go. Lemon is a zippier one, whereas like orange is a little bit more rounded, right? Properties of these plants follow into the oil. So you can use this, your intuition about a particular plant, to help you intuit about the oil as well. Okay, next, so I mentioned lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Let's talk about peppermint. So peppermint also has the Vitality label, right? Peppermint is very opening. It's very awakening. It is, again, you could look up peppermint and digestion. Digestive support would be great for that. Think about peppermint tea. You can make even just hot water and peppermint oil. You can put this in your water. It's fantastic for breath support, just opening you up in general. So if you feel closed off, if you feel like this or tense even, and you need to open up this whole area, but really if you feel like you're in a funk, you're having trouble concentrating, your brain is not working, you just can't get in go mode, just think about breathing in peppermint and what that does to you. It is a fantastic, okay, I got to get some work done. Let me sniff this peppermint oil, okay? I'm going to head to the gym to get my exercise in. Let me sniff this peppermint oil. So that is what you use peppermint oil for. I'm going to talk about lavender now. This is an example of not the Vitality label, right? The colored labels. Now, does this come in a Vitality bottle also? Yes, but this is just to show you that it's actually the same oil inside here, but this one is just not saying, okay, you can take this internally. If you get the bottle with the Vitality, it's the clue that you can take this internally, but it is the same oil in either bottle. Okay, lavender, if you look up the chemical properties of lavender, you will realize that it has the broadest spectrum of all of the different chemicals and what it is that they can do differentially in our body. And that is what makes lavender the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. So there are so many things that you might want from an oil that are in here. Sesquiterpenes, monoterpenes, polyphenol, whatever. I'm going to run out of chemical names. But all of the chemicals are pretty broadly represented in lavender. Now, I talk about lavender all the time, and the reason is because as creatives, we tend to be a little high-strung, okay? We tend to be thinking constantly, all the time. Thinking. You try to go to bed and you're still thinking, right? If you run a business, thinking. If you have kids, thinking about them, thinking about relationships, thinking about your art, thinking about all the things. Lavender is a very, very, very calming, okay, blend. If you think about, lavender potpourri, lavender sachets, lavender shampoo, lavender lotion, all of that stuff is all the spa or relaxing or nighttime scents, right? So putting lavender, either breathing it in, right? Putting it in your diffuser by your bed, or even on the bottom of your feet, because the bottom of your feet absorb oils incredibly well. It's one of the easiest ways to get the oils into your skin. That, within just a few minutes, can start to affect, the way that you're thinking and feeling. And so heading into bedtime, it can really help set you up for a successful bedtime versus one where you're just laying there and you just can't make the thought stop. Also, if you're just struggling with, fear or frustration or worry, okay, this is a very calming and focusing oil. If you have scatterbrained thoughts, great for that too. So this is kind of for the, I feel out of it, I feel out of control, or I feel like I'm going too fast and I need to reel it in. Okay, so that's lavender oil. Let's see, going again with the calming, let's talk about frankincense. Frankincense, of course, I mentioned, and y'all know, the three wise men, right? Frankincense, gold, and myrrh. Okay, so this has, for basically forever, been considered one of the spiritual oils. And the reason for that is it's a wood resin oil, okay? So you can burn the resin or you can use the oil. And it is a very centering, calming, and grounding oil, okay? So associated with like the root chakra. So meditation, prayer, spiritual development, but really also just calm focus. So whereas lavender is heavier on the calming side, maybe frankincense is a little bit more on the focus side. So if you are trying to get some work done and it is work that you need a lot of brain power for, it's work that is going to take a lot of concentration, you got to pull some stuff out of yourself, right? That is where frankincense is fantastic. If you like to start your day by meditating, if you like to start your day by having a quiet time, if you like to start your day by very calmly thinking through it, then frankincense for that as well. I'll use frankincense, say, if I'm going to do a live, right? And I feel scatterbrained, or I feel like I've been rushing around trying to get everything set up, trying to get my area set up, and I need to just take it down a notch before I get on live. Frankincense is a great one for that too. So another one that is very much like frankincense and lavender is Copaiba. This is another wood oil, and this one I hadn't heard about before I started Young Living because they're actually the only company, at least they used to be, I think they still are, that has Copaiba oil. This is another wood oil, okay, and it is also a great kind of everything oil. It is just overall support oil, but it has those wood properties of grounding, calming, and it has a lot of immune system support properties as well. It also, as you see, it's a vitality. It doesn't have a lot of distinct flavor. So really adding this to hot tea, adding this into your water, adding it to a smoothie, and you're not going to notice it that much, but it's a very, very good overall. If you like to start your day, with hot tea, you like to start your day with a smoothie, you cannot go wrong with Copaiba because any of the things that you're dealing with, it's going to speak to that. But I also like to use Copaiba as a grounding thing and in my face oil. Okay, this stuff is great for your skin. So I typically use, I think that it's Copaiba, lemon or another citrus, maybe grapefruit, bergamot, and tea tree oil a lot. That's not one of the ones that comes in the kit, but it's one of the ones that I recommend you getting kind of off the bat. Tea tree oil is very, very good for healthy skin, especially like teenage problems, but just healthy skin in general. And so those three of a citrus oil, a Copaiba oil, and a tea tree oil is great for like just fantastic skin overall. All right. Let's go to Purification. So Purification, I actually, it's funny, I think this is all gone now. I wasn't using it much at first. It does not smell that great, but it's really recommended for outdoor use if you do a lot of camping, a lot of picnics, for, pesky situations outside. It has, I'm going to forget the name of it, citronella in it. Okay, so that should tell you something. But Purification means exactly what you think it means. It's used a lot of times around the house, a lot of times for system support, but it is also a cleanser emotionally. So if you are really angry, really frustrated, really having a hard time getting over something, okay, this in the diffuser is where you want to start. So whereas lavender is calming, Purification really has a better sense of helping you to let it go. Okay, so Purification, if you feel that you need to cleanse something emotionally from your system, to move on, to let it go the end of the month, right? To just start fresh. That is what I would recommend from that creative, sensitive soul side of things to use Purification for, okay? Then, RC. Now, this guy, to tell you the truth, it's a little bit harder to think about. Oh, that smells good. It's a little bit harder to think about this like purely from an emotional standpoint because I really use it for respiratory support. But I know so many people whose kids have respiratory issues, who seasonally have respiratory issues, who are trying to exercise, but that causes respiratory issues. For me, before I had kind of come through the real rough point of my wellness journey, since like the 3rd grade, I've had asthma. And it wasn't until within the past 6 months, I would say, that I stopped taking my inhaler with me everywhere I went, okay? Until then, it was like, if I left the house, the inhaler came. If I went on a bike ride, for sure the inhaler came. But I was able to transition out of that just because of overall wellness. But then having this, if I feel like I'm about to go climb a mountain, I'm about to go, go run on the treadmill or go ride my bike, then I have support because it's not the same as medication. It's just giving my body the boost that it needs in order to do its job, right? So seasonally, but also like stress-wise, I'm the kind of person that feels like there's an elephant sitting on my chest. If I go into like a job interview or something, right, I just like, you just tighten up. So RC for that, for sure. Okay. If you do that speaking as well, this area when you're speaking, just, you lose your volume, you just like feel like your heart's coming out of your chest, I would try RC for that too. All right. And Thieves. Oh my goodness. Thieves, as you can tell, another vitality. Now, because we are sensitive people, we tend to pick up a lot of the bugs that go around. I really just think we overstress ourselves and we run down our immune system because we are just doing too much for too many people, trying to make everybody happy, trying to make it happen. We have such high standards for ourselves, right, that we end up running ourselves into the ground. Thieves is excellent for any time that you can just feel your immune system is not winning the battle. The story behind Thieves is that during the Black Plague, there was this band of thieves, and they ran around the country basically stealing from the dying and the dead, okay? And they were finally caught, but they were told, okay, we'll be lenient in the sense that we won't kill you if you will tell us how in heaven's name did you not get sick. And what they said was, well, we just use these essential oils. We put these essential oils every time before we went out robbing. These are the essential oils, okay? So you know exactly what that's for. If they're going around doing that in the middle of the Black Plague, like, there ain't nothing in life that's like that. So this is a story for another day, but I've been doing a detox for the beginning of the year. Every time I detox, I get sick, okay? And a lot of that, again, a story for another day, a lot of that has to do with as you burn through fat cells, you release all of the toxins that were stored in there. And that is a hit on your immune system, and it can also be like viruses, bugs, bacteria that were stored there. It's taken me 30 days to finally get to that point, to get to fat that I hadn't gotten to in years, that had some stuff in it. But immediately when I felt this happening, I know what it is, I know why it's happening, and I grabbed like all of the things. We're talking Copaiba, lavender, lemon, peppermint, thieves everywhere, all over the place, the spray, the hand sanitizer, the soap. And so this just basically helped me to keep going with the business and not let the detox stop me in my tracks, basically. Okay, so Digestive Support. Who has a perfectly working digestive system? If you raise your hand, I'll tell you that you're lying. But a lot of us have digestive issues, and the reason for this is stress, foods that we shouldn't be eating, but because we don't take care of ourselves and we're just working, we grab whatever's there. The type of food that is available to us today, again, another conversation. And fear is down in this area is a root chakra issue. If you have a lot of fear, if you're trying to work through a lot of fear, if you're a sensitive person, okay, that can affect your digestive system as well. So if for those of you who know my wellness story, a part of the reason that I had so much trouble getting over my thyroid issues was that I had such poor digestion that even taking thyroid pills, it was like, how much percent was I actually absorbing, right? It's like one day maybe I'm absorbing a lot, but another day maybe I didn't hardly absorb any of that. Like, that's no way to be managing your health, right? So using the oils, because it goes into your skin, because it goes, into your nose while you breathe it in, was totally avoiding the digestive system, which for me was key. Once I had worked through that, then I was also able to use the Digest to help me support my digestive system so that now I have a much, much healthier digestion than I did before. It's much better supported. And I know that when I'm taking in food, I am actually nourishing myself, right? So that is really key. So many emotional things that cause IBS, that cause, all sorts of issues, compromises in your digestive system. This support will help you with that, but will also help you with any of the issues, in terms of emotional, spiritual support for those areas as well, because it's all combined. Last of the main 10 oils, okay, is PanAway. If I can get it out of here. Hold on. The reason this is hard to get out is because it has a child safety cap, because it has spearmint in it, and kids love the smell of spearmint, and they'll think it's candy and they'll drink the bottle, and you do not want them to drink an entire bottle of essential oil. But, so PanAway is, it sounds kind of like what it is, but it is for muscle support, joint support, ligament support, right? So if you're the type of person who has a lot of physical activity, it's for that. But for us creatives, if you have a lot of repetitive motion going on, if you have some back stuff from sitting at a computer or sitting over a sewing machine or painting all day or whatever it is, right? If you have those physical breakdowns that come from doing a craft for hours and hours and hours, then PanAway is absolutely going to be your friend. I got this with my initial kit, and I had to order more because I gave it to a friend in that exact sort of circumstance. And I was like, look, I don't even care. Like, let me just give you my bottle, because it can make that huge of a difference in whether or not you're getting your art done and whether or not you're living your life. There's no reason that we should be letting pain stop us from living our life. It is there as a message to us, hey, you need to take a step back and you need to look at supporting your body and supporting your health. But with the PanAway, you're relieving some of the symptoms, but you're also giving support that those areas of your body need, okay? So those are the main 10, but that's not it. Because underneath, so this is that, underneath, you have some more goodies, okay? Now, you have some of these little sachets, so you can share with a friend. You try peppermint oil and you're like, oh my goodness. The peppermint oil in the morning, life changer. Share it with a friend. Let a friend know about it. If you want to give them like a bigger bottle, I do this with Abundance a lot. The Abundance oil blend that I think is a creative entrepreneur's best friend. I will send, some drops of that, okay? Now, this is the most exciting part of this whole thing, because this is your 11th extra bottle. This is Stress Away, and this is the bottle that gets a lot of people hooked on essential oils. This is a blend, so it's a lot of different oils in there, just like some of those other ones, Digest, PanAway, Thieves, right, are blends. It is all of the things that you would associate with the name Stress Away, right? We talked about lavender. This has vanilla in it. And it is like lime is in here. It is, I'm just going to read it to you, actually. Hold on. What's in here? All right. Balsam, Copaiba, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, acacia, and lavender. And cedarwood, again, another one of those wood oils. Another one that I got very soon after getting my kit. If I had to recommend some, like, for your next step, it would probably be the eucalyptus if you're a breath support person. Tea tree if you're a skin or a, around the house support person, cedarwood for emotional support. And then like all of the citrus oils are my favorite things every day. So those are like some of the simple and not that expensive ones that you could add as you go. But Stress Away smells amazing. I mean, that lime and the vanilla is just like, it's like candy or perfume or something. But if you see, this has the rollerball. So you also get a free rollerball in the kit. So you can right here, just like you would, with your perfume, right? Rub that on. Great right here. Get that near your nose where that's going right into your limbic system. When I first got my oils, and I worked a lot at Trader Joe's, and I still work there on the weekends, putting Stress Away on or putting it on my aromatherapy jewelry before heading into a crazy work day was like key to my stability. I am so much more stable because I have used all of these oils for so long that a lot of times I don't need the support at the same level I did before. But that's why I'm talking to you guys about this 101, because there is so much progress that you can make with these 11 oils that then you get to move on to the fun part that I get to do of like, okay, you know what? Every day, like on an everyday basis, headed out of the house, running errands, going to work, doing all that stuff, I'm like pretty good. But if I want to kick it up a notch, if I want to do vision casting, forward planning, then Live with Passion oil is my friend. If I'm feeling like, I just don't know if I have it today, like I just feel like everything I do is just not working out, Believe oil, right? I love the blends. Y'all know I love the blends. Abundance oil. If I'm like, we got to make this happen, Aaron, you got to make some financial abundance actually happen here, then the abundance oil. Envision oil, which we're going to talk about all this month with creativity, that seeing yourself as bigger than you currently are, as being able to say, I am almost there, like this is the next Aaron, and I'm going to get there, and just envisioning that and pulling that towards you and working towards that next bigger, better version of yourself, envision oil. But all of that is like so fun because when you're at or above the line of wellness, then you get to start stepping up and up and up and up, and then it becomes like a fun thing because it's reaching upward, and it's not just trying to manage the low-level stress, low-level emotions, low-level health stuff, right, that I was at, say, a year and a half ago. So the reason they put this kit together, the reason it's these 11 oils and not some other, random oils, is because not only are these favorites, but they really cover the gamut. If you think calming oils, breath support, immune support, digestive support, head support, seasonal support, focus support, awake support, nighttime support, all of the things that are a normal day, you have support for that in this kit. Then you get to play around and you get to pick your other single oils or your other blends that are for like the bigger, better, more awesome, more creative, more artistic version of you. But this helps you manage that core, that sensitive core that you have that makes you such a beautiful artist, such a beautiful creative, such able to think outside the box, able to see everything around you and take that in and get inspiration, but also leaves you kind of raw and open to influences. It helps you manage all of that so that you can get to that next level. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. With the kit, I wanted you to understand that essential oils, I don't just talk about them because health is important. It is, but it really is mind, body, spirit. And the oils and the crystals for me are just the thing that got me there. They're the thing that helped me to get a solid core, to get a platform from which I can now grow. Okay? So I want to get you guys there. I want to get you a solid platform so that then the sky is the limit, but we got to get you at ground level first. So this is how you do that. All right? So the kit, you can get just a single oil from Young Living. You don't have to get a membership. But the membership is the way to go because you're getting, with your membership, 24% off, okay, of any oil that you order from then on for forever, as long as you spend $50 a year, right? So basically forever. You also are going to get, with this kit, the best deal that you can get. So for $165, you're going to get the diffuser, okay? And you're going to get all these oils, and it's essentially 50% off of what you would be spending on this. So I've actually I have another one of these kits because it's just the best deal in the house. And you use these because you know them and love them, you'll use them, regularly. But the membership, you can get a $45 membership, like going to Costco and getting a membership, right? You get that membership and it lasts forever, and then you can pick the oils. And that's kind of what I did at first. I picked Indoflex and I picked Valor because that was some key, support for my thyroid, for health. And I wasn't really worried about emotional or spiritual. Like, I was in the physical health zone. But I got those too because I had the Whole Foods oils, whatever. I didn't understand the difference. Then I got those and I was like, oh, I get it. So I went back and I got the entire kit because even though I already had a membership, this was still a better deal, right? 50% off everything. So the kit includes that membership and you get all 11 oils. Or like I said, you could do a mix and match. Okay. Any of that stuff that you have questions on, leave me a comment, message me. We can work you through it. I have had everybody do all of the options. I have had people just get the membership where you get a stress away and you get the little sachets, right? And so you can try the oils. I've had people do that where it's like, financially, this is the best decision for me. Let me just try some and then move from there. And then they do that and then they pick the next oils to go with. Totally fine. I have a lot of people who do the premium starter kit because it's the best deal. But I also have people who, like me, start out and say, I want to get the $45 membership and I want to get the particular oils that I'm comfortable with or that I already use. Some people who are already using lavender, already using tea tree, already using lemon, peppermint, they want to move over to the Young Living oils because now they understand what it means to be 100% pure oil. But, they're starting with their comfort level of these are the oils that make a difference for my life. So any way is a good way. You can also, there are Thieves kits that you can get that is just like the Thieves oil and all. They have a whole cleaning line of Thieves products that I use. The soap, I use the dish soap, I use hand soap, I use laundry detergent. I make my own spray, like all of that stuff. They have hand sanitizer. So all of those things, you could get a Thieves kit. You can get a Ningxia Red kit. We didn't even talk about that, which is the antioxidant drink that I drink every morning. And to have a whole kit of just that. There's actually now a makeup kit, which is for, that's the makeup that I use. It's fantastic. It makes your skin feel amazing. And I don't wear makeup as much anymore because my skin has improved. So it's like I have this makeup, which is wonderful, but it's also making me not have to wear makeup as much. So they just launched the kit for that. There are so many ways to get started with this that we can totally do it for you. It doesn't have to be the one way. But the premium starter kit is a way to experience all of it across the board, foundationally, and then move on from there. Because a lot of stuff, if I tell you guys to use, abundance oil, well, if you're at a really low health place, targeting health can help you move up faster in life. Targeting an emotional issue particularly can help you move up faster. That's the beauty of the kit. So if y'all have questions, go ahead and ask me below. Message me if you feel more comfortable doing that. But we can 100% get you started. And if you have a question about, say you want to get the kit, but then there's this one particular physical, emotional, spiritual, physical issue that you want to deal with, then I can help give you a recommendation for that oil, and you can add that and just do it all at once, do the one shipping charge, and just get it to you. So that's all I have today, guys. I feel like I covered everything. I hope that this was a more effective version of a 101 for you so that you understand how to support, balance, and bolster your sensitive creative soul in a way that you're here and you can start to build up and build out. And every day you already have a good place to start. Okay? So thank you guys. You're wonderful. We will do next week. We have another exciting workshop coming up. But until then, let me know any questions you have about oils and have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon. Bye.